What's up, guys? It's Benny. Elon Musk said the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. It's called Elon's razor. And if the last couple of days have been anything, it's been wildly entertaining. The massive crash out between Elon Musk and Donald Trump. Is it good for the Republic? Is it good for the Republican Party? Is it good for MAGA? Not exactly sure. We're going to let other people decide that, including you, and let me know in the comment section what you think. I do know that this has sent libs completely schizoid. They already have enough mental problems as it is, but libs trying to figure out how to disagree with both Trump and Elon. Who do we hate? Can I now extinguish my Tesla? Like, how do I take bumper stickers off my Tesla? Hold on, I got this before Elon was crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, there was quite a bit of losses for Elon Musk over the last couple of days. And this isn't a man who's used to losing ever. Elon Musk sort of lost the court of public opinion here when he engaged in wilder and wilder declarations against President Trump, like he's going to decommission SpaceX and he's going to call for Trump's impeachment. He's going to start a new political party, and that Donald Trump was on the Epstein list. And a lot of that started to really grate on people at the White House. President Trump has said that Elon Musk, is on drugs, according to the Wall Street Journal. And, again, that's not for me to speculate on. The point is that people began, and very big time activists began demanding that Elon Musk apologize to President Trump. He has to apologize for two things. First, randomly calling for the impeachment of a duly elected president over policy disagreement. Second, and it pains me to bring this up, but the slanderous accusation that the President of the United States was a co-conspirator in a multi-decade sex trafficking ring for minors, which, as we have proven on this channel time and time again, is the opposite of what President Trump did. It was actually President Trump who helped put Jeffrey Epstein behind bars. Anyway, we have an update here. Elon Musk has now gone and deleted all of his posts about President Trump. They're gone. They're gone. And this is not normal for Elon Musk. It's like very interesting. This is after, again, activists continued to call Elon out again and again and again. Elon Musk deletes tweets claiming Trump was in the Epstein files de-escalation of Feud. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Elon Musk said, time to drop a really big bomb. Obviously, we covered this. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. Elon has deleted those and many other claims. They are now gone, as you can see here. Here's the Elon Musk Epstein tweet, and now it's gone, ladies and gentlemen. It was either a momentary lapse of judgment or a bad attempt at humor, trolling, water under the bridge, Elon Musk. We can all move on to bigger and more important things. Obviously, this was very much a distraction. Elon has gone back and deleted this tweet along with a handful of others. Optics for Elon look terrible, but let's look at the positives in all of this. Elon created distance from Trump, which could be beneficial for the long run of Elon's work and for private sector. Tesla starts booming. The left cannot claim that Trump is helping the billionaire buddy. The narrative that Elon controls Trump and vice versa has been totally atomized. The left now has heightened interest in the Epstein files, and Trump came out looking stable and mature. He certainly did. After analyzing the current outcome of the feud, I can see the potential advantages. Maybe, as we have speculated, they planned this. Just a thought. Now, so many more people care about the big, beautiful bill and are talking about it. And Donald Trump has major leverage because of this, along with Elon Musk, to demand that they cut more pork out of the bill. So very interesting thing. Elon is doing the right thing by deleting his tweets. I truly hope that he's okay. Sadly, the damage is done, though. Donald Trump saying that their friendship may well be over. We'll see, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see. So this is what is breaking the internet right now, is J.D. Vance's response to this live. Theo Von had J.D. Vance in studio when Elon made the Epstein claim. The reaction is perfect from J.D. Vance. It just rings like a bell. Here we go.
Elon just hit the airwaves today. Bring it up, dude.
Oh, man.
The fucking shit missile is in the cannon.
Okay. Wow.
Elon Musk, time to drop the really big bomb, right? And I thought this was going to be on Iran.
So it's funny. I haven't even seen.
Right?
I haven't even seen this one.
But he goes, at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Nice signature from a South African DJT.
Man. Well, so just so your audience is aware, when is this going to air? Like tomorrow or 2 days from now?
45 minutes. It's airing now, dude. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
no.
Presumably, when this comes out, people are going to know more about this than even I do, because
I just learned about
this. Kind of happened on the plane when I was coming on down here. Okay,
I agree.
Look,
this is new.
Here's my basic reaction to like all this stuff is look. First of all, absolutely not. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, the guy is, whatever the Democrats and the media says about him, that's totally BS. Here's my basic read on it. First of all, I'm the vice president to President Trump. My loyalties are always going to be with the president. And I think that Elon, he's an incredible entrepreneur. He's actually done, I think Doge was really good. This sort of effort to root out waste, fraud, and abuse in our country was really good. And look, man, I'm always going to be loyal to the president, and I hope that eventually Elon kind of comes back into the fold. Maybe that's not possible now because he's gone so nuclear.
Well, his feelings,
but I hope it is, man.
His
because
feelings are hurt. Why though? Do you know why?
Yeah, I mean, so look, I think number one, so Elon's new to politics, right? So his businesses are being attacked nonstop. They're literally like firebombing some of his cars. And by the way, we're looking into a lot of this stuff. I mean, some of that stuff we're looking into is an act of terrorism at the Department of Justice, because I think it is an act of terrorism. So I think part of it is this guy got into politics and has suffered a lot for it. But I mean, and I get the frustration there, and I get the frustration that, I mean, look, Congress, you got the spending bill. But the main purpose of the bill is not actually spending or cutting spending, though it does cut a lot of spending. The main purpose of the bill is to prevent the biggest tax increase. But I understand, like, it's a good bill. It's not a perfect bill. Like, the process in DC, if you're a business leader, you probably get frustrated with that process because it's more, bureaucratic. It's more slow moving.
Yeah.
So I think there's just some frustrations there. But I really, man, I think it's a huge mistake for him to go after the president like that. And I think that if he and the president are in some blood feud, most importantly, it's going to be bad for the country. But I don't think it's going to be good for Elon either.
JD Vance went on to explain why this is an insane attack vector. President doesn't write the legislation. As we have said, if there's one group of people who are to be held to blame for this schism, if it really was that, there are many arguing that this might have been a big setup, whatever. If there's anybody to blame, it is Congress, right? If there's real frictions here, it's because of Congress, and Congress writes the bill. Here's JD Vance very thoughtfully explaining all of that.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump doesn't get to write the bills, right? Congress has to write the bills, and you got to work with them to try to get something that is as good as possible.
Okay.
So here's what I'll say about the bill. Number one, prevents the biggest tax increase in American history.
It prevents it?
Prevents it. Because taxes are going to go up on everybody in a really big way at the end of 2025, because the old tax law expires at the end of 2025. So you're going to hit a big tax increase. We're trying to prevent that from happening. We're also trying to do stuff. Okay, so you got a lot of people working long overtime hours in this economy. We inherited bad inflation from Joe Biden, so no tax on overtime, no tax on tips. Right? We're in Bob Ritchie. We're in Kid Rock's great restaurant. His servers would not have to pay taxes on the hard-earned tips that they get when they're busting their ass doing a good job. So when working for Kid Rock, man, that's hard work, right? So I think that it's a good bill, and it does a lot of good for the American people. But like, look, Elon's entitled to his opinion. I'm not saying he has to agree with the bill or agree with everything that I'm saying. I just think it's a huge mistake for the world's wealthiest man. I think one of the most transformational entrepreneurs ever, that's Elon, to be at this war with the world's most powerful man, who I think is doing more to save the country than anybody. I mean, I'm 40 years old, anybody in my lifetime. You think about it. It's a guy who, not even a year ago, nearly took a bullet in the process of campaigning, went back on the horse the next day. And if you look, obviously I'm biased, but you look at what we've done on the border, you look at what we've done with trade, fighting back against a generation of theft of the American dream, which is what the president's trade policies are starting to do. I just think you got to have some respect for him and say, look, yeah, we don't have to agree on every issue. I'm talking about, if you're Elon Musk, you don't have to agree with us on every issue, but is this war actually in the interest of the country? I don't think so. So hopefully Elon figures it out, comes back into the fold. I know the president, for a couple days, I'll tell you, just, I don't want to reveal too many confidences, but, was getting a little frustrated, feeling like some of the criticisms were unfair coming from Elon. But I think has been very restrained because the president doesn't think that he needs to be in a blood feud with Elon Musk. And I actually think if Elon chilled out a little bit, everything would be fine.
And I just wanted to end with a big shout out to James Fishback. He's a fantastic dude. He's an investor. He's a great CEO. and he's somebody who we consider a friend. He was on TV last night doing the rounds, demanding that Elon Musk apologize to Donald Trump. This, I think, was one of the straws that broke the camel's back. James Fishback, shout out. Here we go.
You have to apologize for two things. The first of which is randomly calling for the impeachment of the duly elected president of the United States over a policy disagreement, this big, beautiful bill, which I support entirely. That's not okay. I mean, at least the Democrats had the common courtesy of making up the Ukraine hoax to then go after the president in his first term to impeach him. Elon Musk did so over a simple disagreement on a policy. And the second, and it just pains me to bring this up, is the slanderous accusation that somehow the president of the United States was a co-conspirator in a multi-decade sex trafficking ring of minors. The president is a father, a husband, and a grandfather. He has no association with Epstein whatsoever. He threw him out of his Mar-a-Lago club because he was a scumbag. And now to have Elon Musk drag this in the mud, it's not okay. As Americans, we are allowed to disagree on the substance of the issue, but ad hominem attacks have no place in the public square.
That's certainly true. I don't know that President Trump has always adhered to that particular philosophy, and I know your smirk actually confirms my thinking on that. But you also said that you're leaving the Doge movement after Musk's attacks on Trump. What was your final straw?
My final straw was, look, for months now, Elon set expectations 2 trillion, 1.5 trillion, 1 trillion. And if you take the numbers at face value on Doge.gov right now, it's 170 billion. Now that's real money. I think that Sesame Street in Iraq should have been defunded. That's about $1,100 a taxpayer as it stands right now. But the truth is the Doge movement ought to continue, and it will, with the cabinet secretaries like Secretary Hegseth and Secretary Duffy in their own respective agencies, identifying waste, fraud, and abuse, making the government more leaner and more accountable to taxpayers like you and me and your listeners at home. But the truth of the matter is that Elon Musk set expectations with the president, with me, and with the country that he did not fulfill. The Doge movement has to continue, and I'm eager to support that movement in a new light.
What does that light look like? Obviously, he was a special government employee, and his time was supposed to be limited. You didn't believe that it was going to all be accomplished, his objectives, within that amount of time. There must be something else that has led you astray.
Well, I think I'm a big believer. I was a high school debater 15 years ago, Laura, and we were always taught to separate our opponent from the argument. And when you make the argument about your opponent, when you steep to these personal, slanderous, vicious attacks against a father, a grandfather, a husband, the president of the United States who won the Electoral College, the popular vote, all 7 swing states.
Which President Trump has done as well, you know.
Well, look, I think I don't want to judge the president or anybody by what they may have done 4, 8, 10 years ago. The truth of the matter is the president has been exceptionally gracious, magnanimous, and patient with these slanderous attacks. They are beneath him. He is taking the high road as he should, and we all should compliment him on doing so. As the president just said on Air Force One, he's focused on bigger things, Laura. There's a jobs report today, 140,000 jobs created, all of which were in the private sector, not in the government sector, not here in the DC zip codes, but hardworking folks across this country are getting back to work. You heard the president say he's making progress on the U.S.-China front, on the Iran front, on the Russia front. He doesn't have any time, no distractions to deal with Elon Musk. He is focused on delivering on that historic mandate Americans gave him in November.
Well, certainly I hope a president of any country, let alone this one, would focus on the priorities that he has laid out as opposed to Twitter wars, although he has elevated Elon Musk as an advisor such that the American public and the world is paying attention to him in a very different realm. And if he was once the right-hand man, either philosophically or otherwise, he has made a bit of this bed for himself. But what about this big, beautiful bill, as it's called? Why do you think Elon Musk is wrong about it?
Well, the big, beautiful bill is not merely a good bill, it's a great bill. You take President Trump's campaign promises, think about it, deliver tax relief for working families, no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, delivering tax relief for seniors. That benefits hardworking Americans all over this country. That's in the big, beautiful bill. Increase in border security of $70 billion, a one-time increase to ensure that we have more detention center space, more ICE agents, a fully sealed border. The truth is that the illegal migrants that came into this country under President Biden, over 12 million, they're costing taxpayers about $150 billion a year.
But also CBO, speaking of money to taxpayers, says that this bill could increase it by like trillions. I mean, you have a number that's talking about if taxpayer money is an issue, Is that not a concern of yours?
Well, the interesting thing about the CBO survey, their forecast is that they don't take into account, one, the tariff revenue, which is going to be about $2 trillion over the next 10 years. Number two, they don't take into account...
If the tariff revenue stands,
Sure,
right?
but
That's
just,
an if, but go
and
ahead.
there's a lot of ifs here.
Sure.
But the second one is if you secure the border and save taxpayers $150 billion a year, Trump has done that 99% reduction in border crossings since President Biden was thrown out of office. What ends up happening, Laura, is you save the taxpayer money in the process. The CBO has not put that in their model. And then finally, they assume that the Trump tax cuts, which everybody in D.C., Republican and Democrat, would tell you were going to continue, they assumed they would expire, and therefore their model does not accurately reflect that. The truth of the matter is the CBO is not a nonpartisan organization, Laura. 8 out of 10 employees who work there are registered Democrats. We should be skeptical of the forecast for that reason, but also for the substantive reasons I just laid out.
The Republicans also have touted the CBO over time. Is it not a good organization or good entity at all if it doesn't support what you're saying?
No, what the CBO did 20 years ago, 30 years ago under President Clinton or President Bush is very different than the highly polarized environment that exists today. I think both you and I can agree with that. The truth of the matter is when there's gaping holes in their models and forecasts when it comes to tariff revenue, when it comes to the actual net benefit of cutting out illegal labor and illegal immigration that actually saves the taxpayer money, the CBO model does not estimate that whatsoever. This is a good bill. It delivers on President Trump's promises, and it's a shame that because it doesn't have Elon Musk's electric vehicle subsidies that he would oppose it.
Are you holding your breath for Elon Musk's apology?
I'm not. I think the president has moved on. I would like Elon Musk to apologize, but the president doesn't need Elon Musk to do anything. He was elected by the people. He's going to deliver for him.
You don't think Elon Musk's money will have any impact on GOP? Well, leave it alone. We'll ask another day.
Sure.
We'll see. James Fishback, thank you so much.